Our final 2017 Pinnacle Award is for Lifetime Achievement, and our honoree is my friend, the Reverend Liz Walker. Reverend Walker is the pastor of Roxbury Presbyterian Church. She was called to the ministry after 21 years as Boston's first African-American news anchor at WBZ-TV, and 12 years of humanitarian work in war-torn Sudan, where she helped build a school for girls, one of the first in that region. Under Liz's leadership, Roxbury Presbyterian Church is home to the Corey Johnson Program for Post-Traumatic Healing, an innovative effort that addresses the epidemic of post-traumatic stress in a low-income African-American community too often overrun and affected by violence. The Corey Johnson Program works to increase community awareness of post-traumatic stress, as well as improving access to mental health services and empowering community members with the skills to cope and to respond to PTSD. Liz Walker, Reverend Walker, continues to be an inspiration to women and men in Greater Boston. In some of our most difficult, most painful times, she is the voice that lifts us up. I'll never forget after the marathon bombing, the words you spoke at the church when President Obama was here, and it began to give us hope. And so today, Reverend Walker, for the hope that you continue to spread and all of the good work you do, and for being an inspiration to so many, we present you with this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Lifetime achievement is a little scary because you feel like I've got so much more to do, so many other things to try. This is a very special day, and I have been humbled and honored to just be a part of this illustrious crowd. I've been inspired by these stories that all these women have shared. So I want to turn the table just a little bit and turn my attention and use my time to thank the Chamber. I want to thank you, Katie, and thank you, Jim, and thank all of you for doing this particular event, because we all need mountains. In honor of Martin Luther King Sunday one day, I preached a sermon, Why We Need Mountains. I talked about the value of inspiration. You see, we have to have these awe-producing experiences, these charismatic leaders, these great speeches, wonderful stories, music, grand memorials, and events in order to be lifted above our ordinary existence, in order to think and plan and dream in greater context, in order to take the long view. Every now and then you need a mountain experience in order to keep moving and working with energy and commitment, in order to not give in to depression and defeat, in order to keep an ample, more expansive perspective. Today is a mountain experience. And again, I thank the Chamber and all of you from the depths of my heart. I am particularly moved that you have included me in this prestigious group, because I believe I'm the first preacher lady that you've had up here. Now, Courtney's mom, I was just gonna say, it's a risk to put a preacher up here, because you know we do tend to preach. But I am honored because we are living in times when some people believe that the only thing that matters is how much money you make or what level of power you have accrued. I used to believe that, but my work now is centered on another kind of power, the power of which these women have been speaking today, the power of transformation, the power of hope. It takes me most often to people who live on the edge, to women who have been abused and misused and have not spoken out, to people who are named in the Bible as the least of these. So for me to be a part of this gathering today, to be honored alongside this amazing group of women, I am humbled and I am lifted. This is a mountain experience. We are living in times when we urgently need to lift each other. We have learned rather fast how to scream at each other and bully each other and separate from each other and judge each other and tweet or twit or whatever you do to each other. But if we are not careful, we may lose our capacity to really see each other and listen to each other and make room for each other and lift each other, because lifting is necessary. I was coming out of the grocery store the other day in Jamaica Plain, and a young woman I didn't know literally fell into my arms, crying about the latest vulgarities that were spewed out of Washington aimed at Haitians and Africans. And she is a third-generation Haitian. And I had always thought about these horrible things that I hear on TV as hurting all of us, but I had never thought about that individual. And this woman was in tears. She had been traumatized by that moment. And it made me so sad, and she wanted someone to just hear her. And I thought our growing capacity to hurt each other breaks my heart. This woman said that she wanted someone to know that she was of value, and I told her, you know what? I know it, and you know it, so hold on, and don't give up. And you need to hold somebody else up like I'm holding you. Those of us who believe that America is still an ideal of freedom and justice available to the tired and poor, no matter where they come from. We know that the people who are on the margins, the women who are on the margins or at the end, are just as, if not more, important than those of us who take the lead or hold up the middle. Because as Gandhi taught us, a nation's greatness is judged by how it treats its weakest members, not its strongest. These are challenging times, and if we are not careful, we are lulled into a sense of helplessness and silence and indifference. But we do not have the luxury of giving in or giving up or letting go or looking away. As Joan Chittister writes, the temptation is to withdraw, to surrender our spiritual tenderness in the face of spiritual ruthlessness. We cannot. We must hold each other up in grand and wonderful ways, like the stories you've heard today, and in personal, intimate ways, like when you're on the expressway and somebody tries to cut you off or flips the bird at you, and you want to say something really nasty, but you know what? Just give them a break. That's what we call grace. Just let them go. You see, we need more grace in this world, that fair and generous treatment of the other, whether they deserve it or not. We need to show grace in grand ways and in little ways. We must keep lifting each other up, as the chamber is doing today, and as each of these women have done in their own lives. We must lift each other up as best we can until we get to the next mountain. Thank you, and God bless you.